People working together that gets stuff done, like this past Saturday at my local mountain bike trail where it was all hands on deck for a work day because there's lots of change going on at Wildwood. I've talked about that, the new green trails, regarding which I received a full rundown from the executive director of the nonprofit that's making all this happen. Even though green trails would greatly benefit big box bike riders, I was still a little apprehensive. I've been riding these trails for 20 years, but now that I have a full rundown, I'm fully on board, and I took a ride on the trails that we made a change to on Saturday. It's still loose dirt, but it will pack in. But once it's set and complete, I think I could take an off-the-shelf, say aluminum comp, and ride on these and have fun. Want more than green? Well, don't worry, because there's going to be 10 miles of trails at Wildwood. Only 2.4 of those are green, so fun for everyone. And I tried to film what we had done, but I only got a reverse view here, and that's my DJI action. Unfortunately, the camera I used for a front view, well, I got GoPro'd. If you use a GoPro, you know what I'm talking about. The 2 files that I needed, for some reason, couldn't read them. Everything else on the card just fine. Yeah, thanks GoPro. Back on topic for this video. Actually, first, let me tell you the next video, you voted on it. 72% of you wanted to see this, so an overwhelming majority. The Made in the USA bike, the attention to detail there, spectacular. Can't wait for you to see it. First though, and this is dated because I put a date of today for me to give away the 3 stickers to 3 commenters from the previous video. I'm a man of my word. I'll do that at the end of this video. And I've also had a request to bring back HiFi Friday, so I started thinking, why not just combine the 2? You know, that wasn't big draw, but this is for the core audience. The people that comment on every video, because I appreciate you more than you could know. So HiFi Friday is back, just on a Tuesday this time. And let's get the ball rolling back at the trail where this video started out, and this is comments from the past week. I just randomly selected some, so let's see who we have up first. That would be Dave Gravitt, whom commented about trails. I'm glad our local bike trails are posted no hikers allowed. And his particular trails, they can't even make wider because it's a national heritage area. Well, thank you for commenting, Dave. I envy your situation, but with our new wider trails, hopefully it'll be less of a problem. Plus, more bikes should be on the trails, and maybe that'll dissuade some of the walkers and hikers out of Wildwood. Another viewer joined in with kind of the same opinions, iffy too. I can see plenty of conflicts coming because they aren't specifying mountain bike trails. Walkers always get indignant when people ride in, quote, their space. For me, it's mostly polite around here, but sometimes, yeah. Greg Kello is in a situation like me, where most of the trails that he uses are multi-use trails, and he mentions getting oblivious to it, and it is poop on the trail. I made a video about that, and that's actually what the 2 previous comments were in reference to. Though I totally feel where you're coming from, Greg. We too have a lot of free-range pets out on our trails just running around, so we'll see how all that works out. Next up, taking the trail pyramid issue and making it lighthearted. I really enjoyed reading this. This is from David Croson. I see a how-to video in the future. KevCentral top 10 fenders on your bike. I love it. Thank you so much. Having fun with a not fun situation. Yet there is the opposite side, the reality. From Salman, watch the crud that hits your water bottle. Very good point, and also the reason that you rarely ever see a bottle cage on any of my bikes, and usually if you do, it's up high for that very reason, and not just the trail pyramid crud, just random trail crud. And I like that you guys are so onto the videos that you call me out like Jane blogs here. 144 timestamp in the video, Shoals Mountain Bike Club, 4 bikes for sure. And what Jane is referencing is when I mentioned on the kiosk that there's no wording that says mountain bike trails, so that would make this attractive to walkers. Jane's point is down at the bottom there's a line. You'll see trail forks there, which would tip us off as mountain bike riders, but doesn't mean so much to someone that's not into mountain bikes. Scoot over from that and you see Shoals Mountain Bike Club. While I agree that that tips you and me off, we're mountain bike centric in our thinking. If you weren't riding a bike and you're just walking, odds are you're not going to know what MTB means. Other viewers were quick to spot that and kind of agree with me. Nathan Brown, for instance, from what I can see, it doesn't say anywhere that it's a mountain bike trail. I looked, but for the life of me, I couldn't find a picture of the old sign, though I know I have one somewhere, but it used to be right here, right in front of this now chloroplast sign that just says 2 bike trails. But I knew there was a sign of some sort that mentioned mountain bike, and here it is. The old original sign, it was half buried under leaves, Mountain bike trail, no motorized vehicles. That sign, along with the fact that the trails used to not be so wide coming into them, really did dissuade many people that weren't on a mountain bike. I'm hoping they put that back up, but that's what these comments are talking about, and thanks to everyone for chiming in. Still on the trails, but getting more specific, actually so specific that it was just one line that I mentioned in one of my videos. Ruben Devereaux picked up on me mentioning that some people every now and then comment about my trail line. There are people, he called them bike snobs, that don't agree with a lot of what I do, but what do I know? I'm just a moron with 2 R's. Not offended, more amused by that, but most comments, 99.9% of you, very positive and polite, like Robert G. This is a recent comment on an older video, but I try to look at them all. Wants to know what is the official length of the warranty for Bucklo's forks. Honestly, Robert, I don't know that Bucklo's has an official brand. I've never seen a website that I've been able to find. I think it's just stickers that are on there for forks sold by a few people on Amazon. Meaning that for me, the warranty only goes as far as the Amazon return period. If someone has any other information that there is something extra, enlighten me. I would love to hear it. And thank you, Robert G., for an excellent question. Another excellent question from, I don't know if this is Eric Chaboyer or Eric Chaboyer, asking about the Hyper Erod Mountain 29er. Can this bike get wet? Well, Eric or Eric, I don't know the waterproof rating on this bike. I do know I don't like the way that the battery connections sit down in the frame without any waterproof seal. But I do know someone that has one of these bikes, or I know of. Someone that has one of these bikes that rides regularly in the rain and has had no problems thus far. So I hope that info helps out. Clearly water resistant, but I would say not waterproof. How about sticking with e-bikes for a moment and this, the Segway C80. I knew there were going to be comments about this bike. I was curious though if people would think like I did that it wasn't a very good e-bike as far as e-bikes go. Tyler Shaw agreed with me. Might as well have put those pedals next to the headlight for how useful they are. And he agrees that it missed the mark, whatever mark it was going for, the exact point I was trying to make, so thank you. And also D-Pel, who said, so cute. I agree, it's an attractive little bike, but they just can't wrap their head around how useless it really is. Because again, it's supposed to be an e-bike, but it's just not really an e-bike. If you haven't seen my review, I'll put a link down in the description. It may be on your screen depending upon your device, but lots of comments about it, like this one from Stephanie Orion. Stephanie comes at it from another angle, claiming that it's not really a moped if it doesn't have pedals, because that would make it a scooter, and that all e-bikes are actually mopeds because they have pedals. Well, I kind of agree with where you're going with this, but currently most states view e-bikes just as bicycles, not as a motorized bike. And as far as the differentiation between what is a moped and what is a scooter, I'm guessing that you are a fellow scooter rider. Nothing used to get under my skin, like being on my 80 mile per hour 300cc Vespa GTS and have someone call it a moped. But the reality is that most people view scooters as mopeds, specifically my state. I bought my most recent scooter, which you'll see reviewed here on KevCentral soon. It got tagged as a moped, because that's how Alabama classifies scooters now. So yeah, like it or not, but that's the reality. But thank you for commenting, Stephanie. More e-bikes, a growing segment, larger by the day. This one on the Hyper Erod City. Shane Thomas wants to know, can you charge the battery without removing it? Absolutely. It can be charged in or out of the bike. Just note that if you take it out, you have to turn the battery on before you charge it. And this, the Onway folding bike, I couldn't let this go by. The Foam Forge noticed that they now have it on their website for $9,999. He wasn't alone because others noticed too. I don't know if this is just a mess up or if they've really marked it up that high. If so, then even though I like the bike, it's definitely not worth that. We'll close out e-bike talk in this video with this, the Electric XP 2.0, a bike that I really do like and is definitely worth its $9.99. Tess Mantell wants to know how well the tail light works at night. Well, Tess Mantell, it's visible. So any light is better than no light, but it's not as bright as if you go and buy a specific tail light, one of those retina burning Bontrager lights. Not going to be that bright, but it is usable. I hope that helps you out. And by the way, I have a link down in the description. It's an affiliate link, so if you're going to buy one, use that link. Now to regular bikes, and this, the Mongoose PT26. And a comment from Jack Klumpus, whom is curious about the weight. He mentions 36 pounds, which is what I weighed it at. Said they had seen that it was actually only 33.5. Well, I've weighed mine with two different scales. Both are 36 pounds, actually over 36 now because it has mud on the tires and the frame, and well, it's 36 pounds. I like Mongoose, I also like Priority and their belt drives. BAMF has a question about belt drives. Wants to know if there's any difference between a chain or belt drive when it's on a fixie bike. I always choose single speed over fixie, so I can't really tell you about resistance and stuff like that, but I can tell you belt drive, much less maintenance than a chain. On a belt, you usually don't have to do anything for about 8,000 miles. From bikes to belts to derailleurs now, Tim Jacobs wants to know how the Advent X is working. Tim, I've been running the Advent X, multiples of them, for over a year now, and they have worked perfectly. No issues whatsoever. And actually keep in mind that I'm a little rough on group sets. I will shift under load as often as I want to just because I can. And need to. I want to know how bike parts and bikes hold up under not so perfect circumstances. The Advent X hasn't shown any signs of weakness up to this point. Another component question from Southern Mountain Bike Trails: do the red skewers work like a through axle? They look great. They're on Project Comp V2. That got some people stickers. Kind of, because they do ratchet on like some through axles, and that's growing on me. I really do like these skewers. Another question about Project Comp, or more specifically the Schwinn Aluminum Comp. Would you recommend this bike for someone 5'5"? That question from Cliff. Well, Cliff, fitment is a very personal thing. For example, I am 5'10". I can ride a 17-inch or a 19-inch, though I feel less comfortable on the 19-inch. Less does not mean that it's not still comfortable, and I know people shorter than me that ride a 19-inch frame and are happy with it. So my suggestion to you would be to find an aluminum comp at a Walmart store and get on it and see how it feels. And I've just said 19, but the aluminum comp, not a 19-inch frame. That was just for reference. Our next comment, proof that it's not all pie in the sky with big box bikes sometimes. Mr. J. Haro 93 broke his chain the first time he pedaled his Schwinn Taft. Unfortunately, that can happen. I think it's happened in 3 videos that I've done here on the channel. But I will say it also happens on local bike shop bikes, so it's not exclusive to big box. It's just the luck of the draw, and better luck next time. And thank you for sharing, because information helps us all. Speaking of information, it's out there. It's what this channel does. And EO asked about me upgrading the Axum, which tells me that you are a new viewer. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you have subscribed. And also, I commented to you to let you know that I actually have quite a few videos on an upgraded Axum or 2 or 3. Blurring the line a bit from big box to local bike shop would be batch. And this is an older video, but someone commented recently on this. They're wondering if you order a batch bike, if you have to pay the bike shop to assemble it. Well, at the time that I had dealings with batch, that would be a no. It was included, and I suspect that it's the same to this day because that's their business model. And they've grown, because now I see that there are bike shops that actually stock batch bikes, so maybe you want to contact one of them and just ask them. In my experience, it is always better to be informed than surprised when it comes to money. Unless we're talking lottery, but I'm still waiting that one out. And I want to let viewers know that flattery will get you everywhere, including in a video, like Peyton's Lures, who mentioned that he loves my videos, especially the budget bike builds. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you and Gabriel Lawton, whom also thinks I am awesome. Well, that's awesome to hear. I think you're awesome. And from your comment, it looks like you're really enjoying a Mirax Finesse. I still think back fondly on that bike. So easy to climb with. Thanks so much for the kind words. More words from Daniel Romo. Those stickers are lovely. Well, that's not only great words, that's a good segue. And I mean a different kind of segue, not this, because remember, that's a bad segue. The good segue is to stickers, because I promised on the Trail Pyramid video I was going to give away 3 at random to somebody in comments, or 3 different people in comments, and I have those 3 randomly selected. Harry Grimley, Alan Philippe, John Doe. I see what you did there with the name John Doe. John Doe. So that's the 3. I will contact you in the comment section, let you know how to get up with me so you can get your sticker. Congratulations, and I'm going to keep this going. On every non-bike review video, I think I'm going to give away a sticker or 2, like in this video. 2 free stickers. Comment down below. Randomly, I will select. Say a week from now, I'll randomly pick 2 people from down in the comments and get with you to send you a free sticker of your choice. So comment below. Thank you so much for watching KevCentral. Have a great day.